Hey everyone, I am back with another layout. I apologize that I have been MIA for quite some time. I've been dealing with some health things, stopped taking medication that made me really sick, and I'm finally back to being able to function again. I have a fun layout here. So this is a cut file. Everything that's in that cloud paper that I'm backing right now with pattern paper over the top, that is a cut file, but it's not a traditional cut file. What I did is I think I Googled like palm trees PNG file in Google Images, and I found this cut file, and I thought it would be really fun to play with it. Now, when you use a PNG, at least for the silhouette, you can import a PNG file and just trace it, and it becomes a cut file. And that's what I did with this. I cut it out of that cloud paper, and then I kind of turned it over, and then I traced the leaves, and I traced the I want to call them stems, but they're trunks, the trunks of the trees, and to add a little more color and texture and visual interest. And then I'm layering this whole thing over this wave pattern by Vicki Boutin. These are all older Vicki Boutin papers. I'm going to leave a link if my little scrapbook store has this collection, because she does have some of the older Vicki Boutin. I will leave a link for it in the description box for you. But I really love how this turned out. Now, it's a very simply embellished layout because it is quite busy with that paper and then the big cut file, but I really love it. So here I am. I'm just going to, now looking back, I kind of wish like the bottom part of that cut file where, you can still see the waves. I kind of wish I would have backed that with some different pattern paper possibly, but that's okay. I mean, it's easy to say when you're looking back on it what you would have done, but I still love how it turned out. So I'm backing the photo in just that star pattern paper. Obviously, you're not going to see the stars, but I just wanted the different colors to pop out there. And then, you guys, it's three tiny embellishment clusters is all I'm going to do on this. And I love how it turned out. It's super simple, but when you're dealing with a big cut file like this, you have to be very careful about kind of overdoing it per se. So, here, I'm going to use my, I don't remember those We Are Memory Keeper rulers that I can't remember the name of them. My brain is not working, but I'm going to get a nice even layer around my photos, which a lot of times I really don't care about, but apparently this time it was important for me to have that even. But there's that star paper I was talking about. And typically you would look at that with like kind of the beachy papers I picked and think, why in the world is she picking that colorful star paper? But there's some color in the background of this photo, some reds and blues, that I thought by bringing in this little touch of color might help tie everything together. And I'm doing something here I don't normally do. I'm backing the photo twice with the same pattern paper. But because it's a pattern, it's going to look like they're different papers once they're backed. And I really love how that worked out. I backed it with the side with the blues first, and then I backed it with like the reds and oranges behind that. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I am so happy that I'm finally going to be getting back into hopefully getting some regular videos out for y'all. But boy, I'm just glad to be upright and out of bed at this point. So and able to enjoy some summer. I was sick for a couple of weeks, and it was really not fun. But here we go. That is a perfect spot, kind of a blank space there that I could put my photo. And then you'll see I'm going to use some banner pieces from the ephemera that you can see over there to the right by my scissors. And I'm going to kind of tuck those under the photo to give the photo somewhat of a shelf to sit on, which is something that I often do, is make sure that in some way my photo is grounded, whether that be on a horizontal strip of paper, whether it be, with some washi tape underneath it, or a doily or something like that. So here I'm going to tuck those strips under. And this is a photo of my son and a few of his buddies. And they were in Puerto Rico in 2020. And so this is just a photo of them that, of course, he gave to me to scrapbook for his album. And it's just a fun little photo. Not really much of a story, so I did not do any journaling on this page, but I have several photos or layouts from Puerto Rico that will be accompanying this in the book. So pretty much the story kind of tells, or the picture kind of tells the story, and I will have like a 6x12 page in between all of the photos and everything that will list all of the people that went on the trip and when they went and how long they went for and the things they did. So kind of like a summary of the whole trip. So then I don't have to journal on each page specifically unless I need to note like something specific they were visiting or something like that. But that really wasn't the case here. They did mostly a lot of surfing, hiking, waterfalls and stuff like that. So this is an older thickers collection, and I think I used 2 different thickers. I did Snapshot, and then In was from something else, and then Paradise was from another thicker collection. And I apologize, I don't know exactly where those came from. If they're in the shop, I will list them below as well. I would encourage you to check out my little scrapbook store using the link below. The one thing I love about Michelle's store is that she has all of the new stuff, right? But when she orders the new stuff, sometimes she'll hold back new stuff and then bring it back out later on. So if you kind of missed out, you were late to the party like I often am on collections, a lot of times you can find it in her store because she'll order extra, but she won't sell it all right at that moment. And I love that because I have been able to, how you watch somebody's video or whatever, and you see the collection, when it comes out in the store and you're just not sure and you don't buy it. Well, then you start watching people use it, right? In their YouTube videos and on Instagram and whatever. And then you have, that fear of missing out. You're upset because, man, I didn't get it. Because you know how these collections go. Once they're gone most of the time. But Michelle tends to carry some of the older collections for a while too. So that's awesome. So if you are like a Chamel fan, she actually has some Chamel stuff in her store. So check it out. You can totally find things that you won't find anywhere else at my little scrapbook store. So with this title, those lines that go across in that cut file were a perfect place to put my title, which, as I said, Snapshot in Paradise. Since these are thickers, of course, I'm going to put glue down everywhere. I recently have been going through some old photos or photo albums, you guys, where I've done layouts already, and I cannot tell you how many of them have fallen apart using just tape. Now, I wasn't using ATG back then, and I do think ATG sticks a lot better, but I have decided that any type of embellishing that I add to my layouts, I will use ATG, but I'm also going to add a little bit of wet glue because I can't even tell you how many layouts have fallen apart. I bet I have about 30 layouts stacked up that I either need to go back and just completely redo, or at least glue everything back on. So it's a little bit frustrating, but you know, it also kind of gives me a chance to go back to some of my kids' like childhood photos and kind of maybe not totally redo them, but give them a little freshen up with my, you know, as our styles change. So I'm not upset about it, but you know, I don't want to come another 5-10 years from now and come look at this layout and go, oh my gosh, I've got to put everything back together. So I wanted to bring some red up to that title. So I used this little border sticker that was on one of the sticker sheets. And just so you know, at this point, with my older Vicki Boutin collections, I just, I use them as a kit for a while. And then when I feel like I've used up enough and I'm done using them as a kit, I just store all of her collections together, because they all really do coordinate well. They've got that same color tone, and they're very easy to mix and match. So that's how I store my collections. I'll do them as individual collections for some time, and then when I think I'm kind of done using it as an individual collection, I'll just put them all together. So I can't see what I'm doing because it's blocked here, but I know I'm going through all the stickers and everything, and I'm going to end up with a little cluster to the bottom right with some sunglasses, a chipboard arrow, a little chipboard that says new places. And then I brought in these, you'll see in a minute, these little toucans. Those are from an Amy Tangerine sticker sheet, I believe. And those I just have in my stash. So I was like, oh, that'll be fun. It brings in a little bit more color and something that I can, because I had 3 of them, I could kind of, you'll see this come up in a minute, but I could spread it around my layout to give a visual triangle effect with, you know, 3 of the same type of embellishments. So you'll see I'm going to add stars to my embellishment clusters, and that will kind of go in all 3 places. And I have gold in all 3 places, so that helps keep the eye moving around, and that is kind of how I like to kind of develop my page, is to have not necessarily the exact same thing in each cluster, but something similar, whether it's a similar color, a similar like metallic. I love that I have a puffy sticker in each one. I, you know, have something dimensional in each cluster. So that's kind of where my thought process is when creating these layouts. So there I did finish my title at the top. Here's where I'm going to finally go through some of this chipboard. I'm sorry, I probably should have cut some of this out, but if you guys have questions about how to convert a PNG file that you can find on Google Images to a cut file on your silhouette, let me know, and I will see if I can figure out how to do a video tutorial showing you how to do that. I'm not really sure how to do that on my computer, but I know people who do, so I can maybe get some help from some other friends and put up a video. It really is awesome because if you're looking for something specific, you can Google for a PNG file, and literally they're free. You can import them right into your library in Silhouette Studio and just use your, what is it called? Trace feature to make it into a cut file. So unfortunately, if you are a Cricut user, I do not have a Cricut, nor do I know how to use a Cricut. And I'm sure there's probably a way to do that with the Cricut, and I can ask my friend Jessica, who's really good with her Cricut, if there is a way, and then possibly, maybe if there is, she can show you all as well. I must be showing someone my layout right now. I might have been scrapbooking with a friend, so I'm sorry, but there is my final project, guys. I hope that you like it. I'm super happy with it, and definitely check out the link to my little scrapbook store below. And if she has these products, I will list them individually. If not, I'll just list a link to the store because, like I said earlier, she might have some collections that you've been looking for that you missed out on, and you could grab those from her store. So I hope you have a great day. Here are some close-ups, and I hope you come back for more. Make sure you check that like button and hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you so much. Bye.